Right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Washington, D.C. and the Olympics grounds for this 2:05 p.m. first pitch on the 20th of May in the year 1871. We've got ourselves a interesting matchup here. Last time we were here and out of the park, we had the top of the AL versus the top of the NL. It was the Troy Haymakers and the Philadelphia Athletics. This time we're going on the opposite end of the spectrum. We've got the 2-4 Rockford Forest Citys, second bottom in the National League with that record, sitting 2 games back of the division lead, and they're going up against the Washington Olympics, who are 1-2, sitting 2.5 games out of the division lead in the American League. So it is going to be an interleague matchup here yet again for us today. The Rockford Forest Citys travel from New York to Washington, D.C. to face off against the Washington Olympics. Welcome in, Block. Welcome in, baseball fan. Welcome in, DJ Tubby. Welcome in, Buck. It's great to see you all. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all had a better day than I have. I spent the morning being absolutely flippin' agitated. But aside from that, hi, hello, welcome in. Aside from that, we should have a good game of baseball here. A much-needed game of baseball. This season is only, 32 games to start? Something like that in 1871. It's not very long, and Rockford are already 6 games in. I heard Blockbuster that the Liverpool Newcastle game was apt, or the Newcastle Liverpool game was absolute madness. I am a little bit. I wish Newcastle would have gotten something out of that game, but I understand you're glad they won. I know the youngster scored. That was really nice, but the red card was pretty deserved. I don't think there's any arguments on that, but the whole opening 20 minutes was basically Newcastle pushing you guys. I mean, Newcastle basically had a giant battering ram and were just knocking at the door the opening 20 minutes of the game. But what a game it was! I know that. I turned it off at halftime like an idiot, thinking the red card was going to be the end of the game. Like, I just thought, that's it. Newcastle concede and they go down a man. That's it. But then the fact that they leveled it twice, I mean, insane game. So I'll have to watch the second half at some point tomorrow. Right. Football's on the back burner for a few days. If you want to know officially, Gimpo is going to return on Thursday. So look forward to that. You know what? I loaded the save today, by the way, just to get up to Thursday, or the game and the match day. Just to process the 3 days in between the match day. And I realized I have to play Seoul with no starting defensive midfielder. I have 4 defensive midfielders in the save, right, on the team. 4 people who are natural at that position. 2 of them are on international duty, and 2 of them are hurt. So I'm like, what? Arguably, Gibbons should have also got a red because he had about 5-second yellows, but I do understand refs are hesitant to get. Yeah. I didn't think it was, but right. Let's go through your lineups here tonight for this matchup between the Rockford Forest Citys and the Washington Olympics. I am going to just turn the Firefox audio off, and then I'm going to play music in my ears so that my headphones don't freaking turn off, because I eventually have to replace them. So I'm going to do that now while I go through the starting lineup. Right. Starting lineup for the visiting Rockford Forest Citys. Batting off first will be third baseman Cap Anson. He's got a 3.57 ERA with 3 RBIs so far. George Hall, the left fielder, will bat second. He's got 1 home run, 5 ribbies, batting .267 so far this season. Ross Barnes, who's red hot right now, is batting third. He is batting .407 with 6 ribbies so far this season. The second baseman, doing very well recently. Lip Pike, the right fielder, he'll bat fourth 1 home run, 6 RBIs, batting .310. Doug Allison at catcher bats 5th for Rockford. He is currently got 4 RBIs, batting .296. Joe Start batting below the Mendoza line, the first baseman. He's only got 1 RBI, 179 is his average so far this season. He's followed by George Bird, the center fielder, who's batting .370 with 4 RBIs. George Wright, the shortstop. Everybody named George on this team. He's batting 8th with 3 RBIs. 286 is his average. Pitcher Dick McBride will bat last. He is currently got 1 RBI, batting .417 so far this season. For the Washington Olympics, leading off is second baseman Ed Duffy. He's batting .250, still looking for his first RBI in the leadoff position. Tom Foley batting second in center field. He's also without an RBI. He is batting .143. Ned Cuthbert really struggling so far this season. He is batting .083 in the left field spot, or in the 3 spot in left field. John Bass is batting 4th. He is the shortstop. He's got 1 home run, 2 RBIs, batting .333. Charlie Gold batting .167 is currently in the 5 spot. The first baseman has 1 home run and 3 RBIs in his 3 games so far. John Radcliffe, the third baseman, will bat 6th. He has got 2 RBIs, batting .250. He's followed by catcher Charlie Mills batting 7th right now. Still looking for his first RBI as well. Batting a very poor .091. Elmer White, the right fielder, will bat 8th. He's batting .111, and he's yet to knock in a run himself. Al Pratt, the pitcher, will bat 9th. He's batting .429 with 1 RBI. Your pitching matchup for tonight, Dick McBride will take the mound. He's 2-4 for the Rockford Forest Citys with a 2.38 ERA. He is also averaging a 1.13 walks or hits per innings pitched. Al Pratt is his opposite number. He's 1 for 2 so far this season with a 4.12 ERA and 1.42 WHIP as well. We're going to get things ready. I'm going to lower the mic a little bit more because I've seen myself just creep into the red there. So I'm going to lower myself 2 decibels, and we're going to get ready to get into this game. 66 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a 2:05 first pitch in the afternoon from the Olympics ground in Washington, D.C. It's the Rockford Forest Citys at 1-4 visiting the 2-4 visiting the 1-2 Washington Olympics. First pitch is inside for a ball, and it's 1-0, and we're underway here with this matchup. I can now stop the music playing in my head so I can hear the baseball, the lovely baseball sounds, which we will do. Thank you, Pix, for the lurk. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's strike number 1. I always cross the T wrong. Oh my God, I've totally messed up your name, bro. On my notepad. Okay, it's okay. Thank you for the lurk, brother. Right, 1-1. The count to Cap Anson, who he's 10 for 28 so far this season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a called strike on the inside corner. And it is 1-2. 1-2 to pitch to Cap Anson. Swung on, grounded over the short. On to first, in time, and that is the opening out of the inning. So, 6-3 on the put. And that'll be the first runner retired. That'll bring up George Hall. He's batting 8 for 30 so far this season. 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Here's the first pitch to him. That's inside. Ball 1. 1-0 pitch to George Hall. He's going to take that off. He's going to take that high. And it is 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Al Pratt. That's lined on. That's popped up. Shallow outfield. Second baseman's out to get it. And that will be a P4 on the put. George Hall is retired. That brings up Ross Barnes. He's the hot batter so far. He is batting 11 for 27 so far this season. He's the one to take a look at. Here's Ross Barnes stepping in this first pitch. That's lined into right field. That's going to be a base hit. That's down. And it's a single for, he's going to second. Is he going to get there in time? He is safe at second base. And Barnes has got himself a double here in the top of the first inning. Really hustled to get that that double, but he does get around to second base, and now the runners in scoring position here for Lip Pike. The right fielder is batting 9 for 29. Pike has 6 RBIs. It's an opportunity for him to drive in a 7th, maybe. Here's the first pitch. That is right down the chute for a strike. 0-1 pitch, taken high for a ball. 1-1. Deco, what's going on, Deco? Welcome in, man. I hope you're well. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is a passed ball, and that's going to get by. Ross Barnes will go to third. And now runner 90 feet away. 2-1 pitch here to Lip Pike. That's taken outside. Ball 3. And it's a hitter's count to Lip Pike here. Top of the first. Here's the pitch. He's walked him. It's below the knees. He's walked him. It's a base on balls for Lip Pike. And that will bring up Doug Allison, the catcher. He's batting 8 for 27 so far this season. First pitch to Doug Allison. Swung on. That's lined deep into center field. Going back on is the center fielder. He's there to make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs on one hit. They leave 2 on base. We go to the bottom of the first, and there is no score. I spent the first half of my day being absolutely driven, just agitated, just very agitated. And then after that, we kind of recovered. Right. As always with the half end. How was your day, Deco? I'll catch you after the break, but let me know how your day was. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Welcome back. Bottom first here in Washington. Top first took 9 minutes, 2:14 in the afternoon, and Washington coming up to bat will be Ed Duffy, who settles in first here for the Olympics. The Forest City sending Dick McBride to the mound, 2-4. He's pitched 53 innings, given up 55 hits, 14 ERA, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts, for a total of 2.38 ERA. Duffy is 2 for 8 so far in his 3 games this season. Yet to drive in a run. Here's the first pitch to Ed Duffy. Swung on. That's lined right at the shortstop. And oh, he's dropped it. It's safe. He's dropped it. It's an error on the shortstop. I beg your pardon. I made the signal for out, but he's not out. He reaches on an E6. That is shortstop George Wright on the error. Very much the Achilles heel for this Rockford Forest City side. And certainly the one player you would expect to make the play in the infield commits the error. And the leadoff runner is aboard for Washington here. That's going to bring up Tom Foley, the center fielder. He's batting 2 for 14 so far this season. Here's the first pitch to him. Throw over to first, and he's back in time. Here's the first pitch. That's down and in for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike right down the center of the plate, and it's 1-1. Pat Witz, what's going on, Pat? Welcome in. I ought to give you guys shout-outs, actually. I'll make sure I do one every half inning. I'll give a shout-out. I gotta do Blockbuster, Buck, Picks, Pat. How are you doing, my guy? I'm okay. I had a little bit of a rough and tumble day. How are you, man? Here's the 1-1 pitch coming to Tom Foley. Swung on and missed, and that's strike number 2. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, that's popped up in the infield. Third baseman's coming over to make it. Cap Anson makes the play. And Tom Foley will be retired. Hope you're well, chill, and have fun on this OOTP. Thank you very much. I do have fun with OOTP. So, should be a good game tonight. Feel like I'm watching a live game. Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe if I move my cursor off the screen, it'll look even better. Right, that's going to bring up Ned Cuthbert. He's batting 1 for 12 in his 3 games so far this season. Here's the first pitch to Cuthbert. That's taken low for a ball. Sheesh, nice. I bring out the commentary mic for it, too. You guys get it all. Even has ads. Listen. Here's the 1-0. That's swung on, lined into center field. Coming in to get it's the center fielder who makes the play. And Cuthbert's retired. That'll bring up John Bass. I love it. We need more of that. Honestly, the whole reason is so every hour the ads run, right? And they run for 3 minutes. So the half innings are such a natural break, right? Like it's the half inning. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing goes on. The players are switching sides. So it's like it just makes it natural to make that the commercial break. And then if I can just run them for a minute instead of 3 every half inning, then it means you'll never get blasted with like 10 ads at a time. And you'll never have pre-rolls because, we'll keep pushing them off because of that. So it just makes sense. To me, it makes natural sense to play them every half inning. How about your shout-out? Is your in-game ads? Just hate the ads Twitch runs so annoying. That's fair. I used to do that, too, whenever I get it before I bought Turbo. I used to click and say, I don't like this. Like, I used to get Valorant ads all the time, and I hate Valorant. I can't stand that game. I don't like Riot Games either. So I used to click, I don't want to see this. I'm not interested in this. And they would go away for a week. And then the next week, I would get Valorant ads again. And I'm like, how many times am I going to tell you? You know what I mean? Anyway. Here's John Bass, the shortstop. He's batting 6 for 18 so far this season. Throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Here's the first pitch. That is, it's a pass ball. It is a called strike, but it's definitely a pass ball, and the runner will go to second base. So Ed Duffy gets the second. This MLB is sponsored by Blockbuster V20. If you want a shit gameplay, Blockbuster V20 is the way to go. Well, it helps the streamer, you know, so we need to bear with it while supporting it a little way we can. True. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it every half inning also because not only is it a natural break, but it means you guys won't miss any of the baseball action. Unlike in FM where it's full screen, it's like borderless window, and I don't always have my eye on my ad timer because of that, right? So. Here's the 0-1 to John Bass. That's inside. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. That's lined it over to short. Good stop. Over to first. In time to get the out. And that will retire the side. No runs. No hits. They leave one aboard. We go to the top of the second. And there is no score. Oh, well, I don't really have space for it on this desk, and I'll show you why in a second. Due up first for Rockford will be first baseman Joe Start. So, I'm going to take this camera. I'm going to show you my desk, okay? Okay? I'm going to alt-tab out of this game as well so I can show you. All right. So, that's the far corner of my desk. On the far corner of my desk, there is the mixer. There is my This Is Fine plushie, and there is that little crochet that I showed you guys, right? Then I have my phone, my water bottles. Then it's my scorecard here, my viewer list, and all that stuff here. I have my keyboard, the main monitor, right? So it is, yeah, the little chocobo. Oh, it's adorable. Lulu heartily gave this to me. It's fantastic. I want a giveaway for it. She hand crocheted that as well. It's amazing. But and then after that, I got my other laptop, and then it's the edge of the desk, right? So it's like, where am I going to put a second monitor? So this is where I put all the MLS games and the Premier League and all that stuff. This is where I put this is the main computer, and then I have the mix. So I don't really have space, you know what I mean? There's not really anywhere I'm going to put it that it's going to go and be. I would have to move the second monitor, and I use it almost every day to watch the Paralympics, to watch MLS, to watch, the Premier League, something, anything. You know what I mean? Like, so. Yeah, maybe a monitor arm would be good, and like bolt it into the desk or something. That's not a bad idea. Anyway, we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. I need a drink of water. We'll be right back. Right, welcome back. I know as you, I watched your 6-tier game save before I went to sleep. Nice. It's nothing on the streamers, just the ads themselves are annoying, but it's a marketing technique, to be fair. Yeah, that's true. You got the German save near the youth intakes that's ready. Not sure if you're going to have face cam. I just don't like it. I can't sit still with my ADHD and just feel pressure. I have to think it's going to be easier for me to have it off. Also made some concept emotes for sale. Just haven't told them yet. I'm also going to head to bed now. Okay, Block. Block, the only thing I would say really quickly is don't worry about the ADHD. You see me doing this. You see when I rub my chest. I don't know if you guys have noticed the tics I have. Sometimes the shoulder, sometimes the chest, sometimes the deep breathing and the shaking. Yeah, all that's anxiety, man. And we just deal with it. You know what I mean? And that's I don't let it. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I have it. It's going to show on camera with the amount I stream. And if anybody were to ever come in and say anything negatively about it in the chat, right? They're not going to last very long in the chat. So, do I worry about it? No, not so ever. You know what I mean? Always remember the greatest piece of advice I got in the last 5-6 years. I always try to remind myself, people's opinions of you are none of your business. Think about that. You know what I mean? What somebody thinks of me and says behind my back or whatever, it doesn't matter. So if it bothers somebody and they tell somebody else it bothers them that I have these tics on stream or on camera, whatever, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to change. I can't change those, right? I'm just going to live with it and deal with it as is. And I think that's probably the best message you could probably tell yourself is just, who the fuck we're not there for that. We're there to watch you play Football Manager. We're there to watch you play Rainbow Six. We're there to engage with you. And whether you are fidgety, whether you have tics, whether you have anxiety, whether you have ADHD, none of that matters, because that doesn't stop us from engaging with you, right? And that doesn't stop you from engaging with your viewers. So don't put it in your minds. Don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like, so like Benny when he shave. I do not have a baby face when I shave, bro. I do. I hate it. God damn it, Pat. Uh, so he honestly ages 20 years with and without a beard. God damn it. Just be you, bro. Thanks, man. True, your content is what we see in game, not you doing something that's mono. Yeah, exactly. So, right. The video I had for the Paralympics, oddly enough, just finished. So now I have to load the next one. And then once I do that, which is currently loading, then we will get into this top of the second inning. So, right, top second. And Joe Start is up onto the mound for... Going to try and get some sleep. Enjoy streaming. Thanks for the kind words, Betty and Pat. Absolutely, bro. I have to remember to shout you out at the end of the half inning, and I will do so, brother. But you're going to be in bed by then, so have a wonderful night. Get some good rest. And take care and have a great day tomorrow, and I'll talk to you soon. Right, here is Joe Start up to the mound. First pitch is swung on over to first base. It gets through, and that is a base hit for Joe Start. Good start here for Rockford Forest Citys in the bottom or the top of the second. That's going to bring up George Bird, 10 for 27 so far this season. Not really enough speed over on first base, but we'll see what happens. Here's the first pitch. That's a bunt foul. Here's the 0-1. Bunt down the first base side. Over to first in time. They get the play at first. But George Bird does the job, and he gets Joe Start over to second base. So now runner in scoring position with one out. That brings up George Wright, 6 for 21 so far this season. Big opportunity here for Joe Wright. Big power hitter as well. Here's the first pitch. That is taken outside for a ball. 1-0. There's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on. That's popped up. He got under it. Second baseman's over there. He makes the catch. And George Wright is retired. Now to bring up pitcher Dick McBride. He's 10 for 24 so far this season. 1 RBI. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs here. First pitch to Dick McBride. That is taken high. And the count goes to 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's chopped foul behind home plate. Counts even at 1. Here's the pitch. That swung on, lined into center field. Is it going to bring the runner home is the question. I don't know if it will. Joe Start's going to be held at third. And Dick McBride gets a single. And now there's runners on the corners here with just 2 outs. That brings up Cap Anson. He's batting 10 for 29. Big opportunity here. Runner 90 feet away. 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. That is taken down the center of the plate. First strike 1. Here's the 1-0. Or the 0-1. That's swung on and missed. And it is 0-2 now to Cap Anson. Here's the pitch to Cap Anson. He's lined that into right field. And it's right at the right fielder. And caught, and that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We're going to the bottom of the second, and there's no score here in this game. This game of baseball brought to you by Blockbuster. He's not a dead video game store anymore. It's Blockbuster. He's a great streamer, football manager streamer. Rocket League. Look at this. Rocket League also plays COD and Rainbow Six Siege. God, I'd think of it eventually. Apparently, I got a laggy clip. It's either that or Scene.gg needs to go back into maintenance mode again. But either way, give him a follow. Great streamer. Great friend of the channel. GFOTC. Great friend of the channel. Right. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with the bottom of the second in just a moment. Right, welcome back. Bottom second now. Here in Washington. No score. And we've got Charlie Gold, the first baseman, coming up to bat. He is 2 for 12 so far this season with 1 home run. First pitch to Gold is high and away, ball 1. Right, the 1-0. Swung on, that's popped up in the infield. Second baseman's over there. And that will be the first out of the inning. That brings up John Ratcliffe. He's batting 3 for 12 so far this season. Dick McBride doing well on the mound here for Rockford so far today. Here's the first pitch to John Ratcliffe. Swung on, that's grounded over to first. In time as the pitcher gets over there. And that is an easy put out. 3-1 on the put. And just like that, in 3 pitches, there are 2 outs in this bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Charlie Mills, the catcher. Only a single hit in his 11 plate appearances so far. Or at-bats, not even plate appearance so far. Here's the first pitch to him. And he'll take that off the plate away. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's chopped foul behind home plate. And that brings the count to 1-2 here. Batter's in a small hole. 1-2 the pitch. Here's Dick McBride. He's chopped it foul again. And we remain at 1-2. 1-2 to pitch. That's chopped foul for a 3rd straight time. Sixth pitch in the at-bat. Here it is, 1-2. That's lined into left field. That might drop for a base hit. It goes foul. 7th pitch in the at-bat. 1-2 to count. And it's lined over to first. And it'll be taken by himself. Unassisted 3. U3 is the play. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. And the half inning goes by so quick, we're just gonna bundle it straight into the top of the 3rd. There is no score. George Hall is due up first here for the Rockford Forest Citys. He popped up to the second baseman, his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to George Hall. That's taken inside, 1-0. You got to do this more. I mean, your local team, we're supporting them and make it live somewhere, especially people who can't go to the TV sometimes. They can watch you somewhere. What do you, I don't know if I follow what you mean, Pat. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. My local team is like the Phillies. I mean, I'm a Phillies fan. I was born in Philly. There's the Lancaster Barnstormers. Well, I think they're just called the Stormers now. I don't know why they got rid of the barn part. That was the fun part of the name. But they're 20 minutes away. And they're independent, so I don't even know if they pay the individual who covers their games. I don't even know if their games are covered on radio. They're so small. So... right. Here's the 1-0. That's swung. That's lined into right field. That's a base hit. And George Hall's aboard with a leadoff hit here in the top of the 3rd. The other thing I've realized too is like a lot of these people that do it on TV and whatnot, they've all had broadcasting degrees, or they have broadcasting degrees from university. You know, and they've had experience doing it for college radio, and I don't have any of that. You can have your live coverage by yourself with a live game, what they do on TV. Oh, like watch a live game, but then do like a radio broadcast? Is that what you mean? Like I wouldn't be able to show the actual game on the screen, but we could do like just a camera stream and just do a live game. Maybe. I don't know if I'd 100% be on board with that. So, Babe Ruth regen when? Welcome in, Thomas. How are you, bro? Babe Ruth doesn't come until like 1910. We're like, we're a good like 40 years. I just instead of writing your name down now, I just wrote down Babe Ruth. How you doing, brother? I hope you're well. Right. First pitch to Ross Barnes here. That's swung on, grounded over to short. On to second for one. On to first, and they've got the double play. 6 to 4 to 3 double play. He's batted into. Ross Barnes, you just need to be good at what you do, and I believe you're good at it. Like right now, it feels like I'm watching a real live match, especially with that awesome mic. Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe. I mean, baseball, the Barnstormer season is almost over, so maybe I reach out to him next season. I don't know. I'm good. Had a half day off work, so can't complain. All is well with you. I hope all's well with you, man. I've had a okay day. I got really agitated in the morning. And that kind of soured my mood, but I eventually clawed out of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do need that, actually. That's not a bad idea. The monitor arm. I just saw your message, Pat, about the monitor arm. I should, because I think there's a hole in the back of this desk where the light is, like right in front of the light. So I should probably like just pop the thing out and then get a monitor mounted in there, and then have the monitor come out to the side and push everything up. Like that would be smart. I'll definitely look into it. I just need to make sure I can match the hertz. But welcome in, Thomas. I'm glad you had the day off work. Yeah, it's a bank holiday. Oh yeah, you said that the business you work at doesn't close for the bank holiday, but you were still off anyway. Nice, man. Right. It'll be Lip Pike up next. He walked his last plate appearance. Here's the first pitch. That is taken for a called strike. Yeah, and it makes your desk more tidy and spacious. Nice. I do need that. Maybe that's a 2026 project. Honestly, my 2026 projects right now are emotes. Fill out all my emote spots. Buy a PlayStation 5. And that's basically it. I think that's all I got. Now, and then the monitor would be the other project. Right. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's swung on line right at the first base. Over his head. It's a base hit. It's going to go all the way to the corner as well. Is it going to be 3 bases? I don't think it will. It'll be stand-up double for Lip Pike, who's having himself a heck of a day. Because there's a few games on the PlayStation 5 that are PS5 only, Pat Witz. They're never coming to PC. And I would like to play them. There's also some PS4 games that never released on PC that I would also like to play. And I probably would pick up a PS5 to do so. Right. Doug Allison, the catcher, is next. He is 0 for 1 so far. They flied out to center field. I see, fair. Well, you also need a card capture so we can see you play it. I probably wouldn't stream those games. To be fair, I probably would just play them offline. Right, here's the first pitch to Doug Allison. That is taken. Oh, it's a passed ball. It's a wild pitch even. And going to third is going to be Lip Pike. And so Pike is now 90 feet away. 2 outs here. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Doug Allison. He's popped it up in the infield. Third baseman comes over. He makes the play. And again, that ends the inning. Again, no runs on 2 hits. They leave 1 aboard. They gotten runners on third base with 2 outs twice now, Rockford. They haven't been able to bring them home. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. We are tied at 0 still so far. Before we go, tonight's game is brought to you by Buck FC. He's a fantastic North American streamer who streams Football Manager and has a bottom-to-top save going in Germany, which has been very difficult, but he's starting to see a lot of great rewards for it. To see the end of that fantastic campaign, give him a follow. It's Buck FC. Right. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with the bottom of the third in just a moment. Welcome back. Bottom third here in Washington. We've been out on the field for 39 minutes. At least we got one run. Hi, what's up, Pixelated? How you doing, brother? I hope you're well, man. Bottom of third here in Washington. We've been playing the game. It's been 39 minutes here at the Olympics ground. 2:44 p.m. local time. And we've got no score going into the bottom of the third. That's a good question. Baseball fan 2025, yes. What did I miss? Here you go, baseball fan. Leo the Mitsala, welcome in. How you doing, my man? I hope you're well, bro. Here's what you missed. Top of the first, Cap Anson 6-3. George Hall, P4. Ross Barnes, a double. Lip Pike, a walk. Barnes went to third on a wild pitch. And Doug Allison, F8. Bottom first. Ed Duffy, E6. Reached second. Sorry. Tom Foley, P5. Ned Cuthbert, L8. John Bass, 6-3. Top second, Joe Start singled. George Bird sacrifice bunt 3-1. George Wright P4. Dick McBride singled. Cap Anson L9. The single from Dick McBride got Joe Start to third, but he couldn't score. And then Cap Anson L9. Bottom second, Charlie Gold P4. John Ratcliffe 3-1. Charlie Mills U3. And then top third, George Hall singled. Ross Barnes 6-4-3 double play. Lip Pike doubled. Doug Allison P5. That's where we stand right now. Baseball fan. Good. Just setting Twitch emotes. Heard it takes a long time to get approval for them. It depends. I've had some go through right away. I've had some that take 2 weeks. Usually all of them get approved. One thing I would say, Leo, is Blockbuster actually had an issue with his because he called one of his emotes hello, and Twitch's filter caught it and thought it said the word like because hello you have to use the word hell to spell hello because it's H-E-L-L-O and hell is H-E-L-L. Twitch messed up his emote, so I told him just resubmit it as hi instead of hello. And he did that, and it went right through. So just try to think of that. I mean, it's stupid, but try to think of that when you're naming your emotes. Like, is there any even part of this word that can be caught? Welcome in. Crack Attack is here. Let's go. Welcome in, Crack. How you doing, my man? I hope you're well. As I hope you're doing well too, man. I'm sorry you can't sleep, bro. I know it's super late over there, bro. Right, right. Pleasure to meet you. What's a crack-a-lackin'? Absolutely, man. Thank you. Welcome in, crack. Oh wow, I'm glad I did not name them one of them. Nice. All right, bottom third here. Elmer White up to the plate for the Washington Olympics. He is batting 1 for 9 so far this season. Here's the first pitch to him. That's swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's grounded over to second base. On to first in time, and that is the first out of the inning. 4-3 on the putout. Missed my first comment. Says, I know I didn't miss your first comment, Craig. I'm just not going to read the part of it. You know exactly what part of it is. But salutations, Craig. Biggest fan of Major League Soccer. What's a crack-a-lackin'? Right, that brings up pitcher Al Pratt. He is currently batting 3 for 7 so far this season. 1 RBI as well. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike at the knees. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to short. Oh, and he's flubbed it. He's flubbed it. He's absolutely flubbed it. It's an E6. And Al Pratt gets aboard. Shortstop George Wright has got his second error of the game. What year are you in now for this? 1871. It is the 20th of May, 1871. First ever professional season in the first ever professional baseball league. Ed Duffy comes up to the plate now off the back of that. He also reached via an error his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Ed Duffy. That is high. 1-0. Surprised you're still in the first season. We only do like 1 game a week. So, but fairs. We probably should do more, but I don't want to backlog myself with a million videos I have to upload. Right, here's the 1-0. That's popped up. Third baseman's over to get it, and he will. And that will be the second out of the inning. That brings up Tom Foley. Don't judge. I do 3 hours FM stream with 2 games. I mean, I did 12 hours yesterday, Crack, and we played 14 games. So I'm kind of there with you. I average about an hour a game. In the CLG save, it's even worse. But yeah, I average about an hour a game myself. Other streamers can literally do a 12-hour stream and do the whole 38, 40 game season in that 12-hour stream. I do a 12-hour stream and I do literally 14 of the 38 games. Almost in June, almost half of the season, right? Since it ends in October. I mean, it's 30 games, and I think the team that has played the most has played 8 games. So maybe we're like a third of the way through, baseball fan. Too much diarrhea of the mouth, constipation of the brain. I love talking to you guys most. Here's the first pitch, by the way, and it's over to second, and that will retire the side. 4-3 on the putout for Tom Foley. No runs, no hits. They leave one aboard. We go to the top of the 4th, and we are still scoreless here in Washington. The 4th inning is brought to you by the great Pixelated Suits. Here he is playing Rematch. He plays Rematch. He played Battlefield 6. He played the Oblivion remake. He plays Football Manager. He is a proud, proud Colombian and great friend of the stream. He's a GFOTS. Yeah, that sucks. But give him a follow. He's a fantastic individual as well. He'll be the sponsor for our 4th inning. Right. Yeah, if you have a good voice, mine's like nails. That's not true, dude. That is not true at all. Your stream is one of the most entertaining in all of Twitch. So that is not true. This game is very close contest between two average teams in an yeah, this is an interleague matchup, by the way. Uh, Shout out to Pixel. Look at him, the goalie. He's not even the goalie in that one. We're getting sponsors in 1871. Yes, we are, Thomas. God damn it. Right. On that note, we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Welcome back. Top four here in Washington. I'm trying to think of what else would be around in 1870. I mean, we got video boards, man. Nice. Yeah, this is before Prohibition, which is, yeah, that's true. Thanks for shout out. I was grabbing a cookie. Absolutely. Right, bottom or top four here in Washington. Rockford Forest Citys, by the way, coming into this game 2-4. Washington Olympics 1-2. First pitch, that swung on, popped up, left field, drifting foul, and over there to it lands. He didn't make the catch. It landed foul. Yeah. Craig knows his history. Right, here's the 0-1. That's taken, I think that was inside for a ball, and it's 1-1. 1-1 pitch is high and in for a ball. 2-1 count now to Joe Start. He swung on, he's popped this one up. Third baseman's over, and he makes the catch. And Joe Start is retired to start the inning. 1 for 2 now for him. It was just foul. Yeah, I'm just surprised he didn't make the catch. George Bird is coming up. This is actually it's going to count as his first actual at-bat unless he walks because he sack-bunted his last time up. Here's the first pitch to George Bird. That's taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's taken low for a ball, 2-0. 2-0 pitch to George Bird. That's inside, ball 3. Yeah, in this game at OOTP Go, when ball goes foul, a left-right fielder has a chance to make the play and not in stand. It's ruled foul. How about that? I didn't know that. Right. 3-0 is the count. Here's the pitch right down the chute, taking all the way is George Bird, and the count goes to 3-1. Plays that like that what you just witnessed? Yeah. Hitters count 3-1. Here's the pitch. That's inside, ball 4. And George Bird is aboard with a walk. That'll bring up George Wright. He popped up to the second baseman. His last at bat. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 4th for Rockford. Here's the first pitch to George Wright. That is taken at the knees First strike one. That was a productive at bat. 5 pitches, you get the walk. Here's the 0-1. That is check swing. Did he go? First base umpire? No, he did not go. And it is going to be ball 1. Here's the 1-1. Throw over to first. Runners back in time. 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Lined into right field. The right fielder's there. He makes the catch. L9 on the putout. And that'll bring up pitcher Dick McBride. McBride singled on his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on, grounded over to second base. On to first, in time, and that will retire the side. 4-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits. They leave one aboard. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We're still looking for our first run here. Anyways, my friend, make it tolerable, but I find baseball as boring as discuss it. Yeah, let's go. Bye. Cheeky. I know you find baseball boring. I like baseball, but Crack, get some sleep, bro. And thank you for swinging by. I'll get you your shout out later in the game, my man. Later in the game. Sleep never. For those that don't know, I guess I have no problem being transparent, I guess it is, but Skull and I kind of butted heads earlier today, and I got very pissed off at him. So for the next probably about 2 weeks, you're not going to see Skull here on the stream. But I'm hoping we don't butt heads again. Right. For fucking my sanity, if anything. Right. We're going to go straight into the bottom of the 4th because the top of the 4th had so much, it was 1, 2, 3 pretty much, except for the walk. So Ned Cuthbert's going to be the first man up here in the bottom of the 4th. He lined out to center field his last at bat. Here we go with the first pitch to Ned Cuthbert. That swung on, grounded over to third. Great stop. On to first, and it's a bad throw. It is a bad throw from the third baseman. It was a great stop to knock it down, but the third baseman could not get a clean throw. That is Cap Anson who gets credited with the error. It's the 3rd error for Rockford in this game. And Washington now will look to capitalize. They have the lead-off runner aboard with nobody out. That's going to bring up John Bass. He grounded out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That is taken right down the chute for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Below the knees. Ball 1. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on. That's lined into right field. It's a base hit. And Cuthbert will have to hold at second. But this is as good a start to an inning as Washington could have asked for. They've got runners on first and second here with nobody out. Baseball fan correctly points out that is the end of the no-hitter. Dick McBride taking a no-hitter through 3 innings. At least we didn't say anything. I'm not the type to try and say that, right? But at least not till the 7th or 8th inning. That brings up Charlie Gold, the first baseman. He popped up to second base this first at bat. Swung on, grounded over the third. That's a good stop. It's another bad throw from Cap Anson. It's another E5. Back-to-back E5s in the inning. Going to second is John Bass. Going to third is Ned Cuthbert. And it's going, no, I'm saying us, the viewers. That's true. But then again, baseball fan, most of my viewers come from the football manager community, and they're European, and they don't really know anything about baseball unless they're Dutch. The Dutch seem to take the baseball quite a bit. But the British, the Irish, the Danish, They don't. Baseball's not really their thing. I don't know why. It's a great sport. It's a fantastic sport. That is me. Yeah, fair enough. Bases are loaded now for Washington here. And they've got John Ratcliffe, who's up to the mound. He grounded out of his first at-bat. First pitch, quite the jam here for Dick McBride. Here's the first pitch. That is taken for a called strike, and it is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is inside. Ball 1. Oh, gosh, Cobb having a bad day. I thought Hall of Famers were good defenders. Maybe glove in those days, hard to get aggressive. But there was no glove in those days. It was barehanded. Everything in those days was barehanded. Right. 1-1. Swung on and missed. And it's 1-2. Or no glove, yeah. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's lined into left field. That's going to be a base. That's going to be runs for Washington. It's a good cutoff at the base of the wall. But is it going to be a triple? No, it's a double. Cuthbert scores. Bass scores. Gold gets to third. And it's a 2 RBI double here in the top of the fourth for John Ratcliffe. And Washington are finally break the deadlock. It's 2-0 Olympics. That brings up Charlie Mills to the plate. Mills grounded out to an unassisted, or just grounded out his first at bat. Nobody out still. 2 runners in scoring position. Here's McBride. He throws. It's a pitch on the inside. Ball 1. That makes up for Arizona Caballeros. It's costly for yeah. I didn't think they were for Rockford, Illinois baseball fan. I thought they were from Rockford, New York. I could have sworn they were from Rockford, New York. Here's the 1-0. That's swung on into. That's going to be more runs. That's another base hit. It's only going to be a single, but it's brought another run home. It's an RBI single. Gold reaches home. Going to third is Ratcliffe. And it is 3-0 Washington. That brings up Elmer White, who grounded out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That is a called strike. The attempted steal of second, and he's in there. It's a stolen base for Charlie Mills. He stole second. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position. Still nobody out. Here's the 0-1. That's taken low and inside. Ball 1. 1-1 is swung on into left field. Is it going to be more base hits? No, it just lands foul. Here's the 1-2. Swung on. That's popped up in the infield. And second baseman's over there. He makes the play. And that is just the first out of the inning. Rockford Forest Citys. Oh, you're right. They were from Illinois. You're right. You're right. You know what it is? You know who I don't remember is from New York? Troy. Troy's the team from New York. Obviously, there's also, I believe, the New York Mutuals. But Troy's from New York. Here's the 1-0 the first pitch to Pratt, and that is taken low below the knees for a ball. 1-0. Pratt reached on an error his last at bat just in the last inning. Here's the first pitch. That's taken inside. 2-0. Yeah, Troy's New York. Yeah. Here's the 2-0. Popped up. And over to make the catch is the first baseman, Joe Start. And now there's 2 outs in the inning. Then we go to the top of the order, and that brings up Ed Duffy. Reached on an error and popped up as well. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Duffy. Swung on and missed. 0-1. I didn't know that. That's crazy, actually, about Rockford being a team from the Civil War. Here's the 0-1. Let's take it. Where did that miss? 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's swung on, lined into center field. Center fielder's coming forward to get there, and he will make the catch, and the side is retired. Well, 3 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the 5th. Washington have taken the lead here at home by a score of 3-0. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys will be third baseman Cap Anson. Before we go to break, the 5th inning will be brought to you by Patwitz, one of the Philippines' greatest streamers, F1 manager, football manager, Apex Legends. The man's great at it all. The wonderful Patwitz. If you're not already giving him a follow, give him a follow. Oh, that's the commentary. That's the commentary mod you got on that. That's the commentary mod. That's very good, Pat. I like that. Right. That was the draft. But with the commentary mod for FM24. Very good. Yeah, that's nice. Right, we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Welcome back. Top 5th here in Washington. Players have been playing for 65 minutes now. First pitch was 2:05. It's 3:10 in the afternoon. We're going into the top 5th now here at the Olympics ground in Washington, D.C. Hosts have added a 3 spot in the previous inning to break a no-hitter that was in progress from Dick McBride. Now Rockford has to try and answer. It'll be Cap Anson, the top of the lineup, starting. And here's the first pitch to him from Al Pratt. That's taken inside for a ball, 1-0. Hopefully Cap can make up for his error. His two errors, Hall of Fame redemption. Yeah, his 2 errors really were costly. I mean, had he only made the 1 error, honestly, actually, he would have need to have made no errors last, but yeah. But still. Here's the 1-0. That swung on, grounded back up towards second base. On to first, and it's a bad throw. It's a bad throw from the shortstop. And Cap Anson not only reaches via an E6, but he manages to get the second base for it as well. That is John Bass who gets credited for the error. And it's the first error from the Washington Olympics. And it gives Rockford, a base runner in scoring position here with nobody out. That's going to bring up George Hall. He's 1 for 2 with a pop-up and a single. Here's the first pitch to Hall. He swung that. It's going to be a base hit. It's in the center field. And it's an error on the center field. He's fumbled holding it. Certainly, Cap Anson's going to score. He does so. Cap Anson scores. It counts as a single with an E8 in there. So George Hall will get the second. That is center fielder Tom Foley with the error. And Rockford have answered back immediately with a run here. That'll bring up Ross Barnes, the second baseman. He is 1 for 2 with a double and a ground out. Runner in scoring position for Rockford, nobody out. Here's the first pitch. That's inside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on right back at the mound. And right caught by the pitcher. Diving back into second base is Ross Barnes. But nothing comes of it, and it's just 1 out in the inning. That'll bring up Lip Pike. He's 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. First pitch to Pike. Swung on. That's deep. That's high. Is that going to stay fair? It's gone. It's a home run. Lip Pike with a 2 RBI shot to right field. And he will touch them all. Pike, we got ourselves a tie game here. A great shot. I love that emote, by the way. That is nice. Oh, it's ticker as well. Nice. Lip Pike comes through. I believe that's his second home run of the season now. And Pike, in an instant, has tied this game for the Rockford Forest Citys. Doug Allison is the next batter. 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a flyout. Here's the first pitch to Allison. That's taken low, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, grounded over to short. It's another error, this time on the shortstop. And it's all falling apart here for the Washington Olympics in front of their home crowd. Shortstop John Bass records not only just his second error, but his second error of the inning. And Doug Allison gets aboard here with just 1 out. Not really looking to steal. He'll need Joe Start to bat him around, and Start is 1 for 2 so far with a single and a pop-up. First pitch. He's tried to bunt him over. He's bunted that foul. Here's the play. He bunts it down. The pitcher goes to first. They do get the sack bunt. So it's 1-3. That'll move Doug Allison over to second. But with 2 outs in the inning. I thought that was going to actually stay in the ballpark because it was hit. It looked like it was popped pretty far up. But it did carry. Well, I thought when he hit it, it was going to be a pop up the right field. And then when I saw Elmer White stop running for it, I thought, oh, it's got a chance. Here's the first pitch to George Bird. That is inside. Ball 1. Bird is batting. This is actually technically his first at bat. He walked and he sack bunted. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, grounded back to the mound. On to first in time, and that will retire the inning. 3 runs on just 1 hit, and they leave They leave one aboard. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and this game is once again all tied up. Due up first for the Washington Olympics is center fielder Tom Foley. Foley has popped up and grounded out in his previous 2 at-bats. Here's the first pitch to Foley. Swung on, lined right at the second baseman, and that is the first out of the inning. L4 on the putout. And just like that, there is 1 out. That'll bring up Ned Cuthbert. He got things started in the previous inning by reaching via an error. 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Cuthbert, and he'll take that away off the plate for a ball. 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Cuthbert. That's a called strike, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Inside. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1. That's lined right in the gap between second and first. It's a base hit. And Ned Cuthbert is aboard for the second time this game. This time with his first hit, a single into right. That'll bring up shortstop John Bass, who singled his last at bat. He's 1 for 2 today. First pitch to Bass. That's taken high for a ball, 1-0. I don't know if they did, to be honest with you. I didn't change any of the colors, baseball fan. So I don't know if they did. You know? This 1-0 swung on, popped up. Down the third base side. Third baseman's there. He'll make the catch. P5 on the putout. And that's 2 down now in the... I don't think so, actually, baseball fan, because you know what it is? If I'm honest with you, I have 3 different saves going in Out of the Park. All 3 saves have started in 1871. My playthrough save, simulation save, where I just sim and see how the history unfolds, and the commentary save. And in all 3 of the saves, the colors of each team are different. So... I don't think they are. I think the Washington Olympics were like yellow, if I remember correctly. It was like a yellow to them. Like was one of the colors. It wasn't the only color, but I think one of the colors was yellow. Right. Here is Charlie Gold. 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That is fouled. Here's the pitch to the 0-1 to Gold. Check swing. Did he go? First base umpire says no, he did not. 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. It's a pitch out and safe at second base. Would be a good time to steal if you're Cuthbert, but the batter is ahead on the count now. You hear an echo, but that's maybe me. I shouldn't be an echo. Is it like the mic or audio used? There should not be an echo on the game. Is anyone else hearing an echo? Because desktop audio is turned off. Let me just make sure desktop audio is turned off, because right before, I don't hear anything. Okay. Right before... Yeah, desktop audio device is not connected. Desktop audio 2 device is not connected. And then if I go to advanced audio properties, desktop audio is unchecked on every track. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's just on my... Okay. I was going to say, I think I turned desktop audio off, so the only thing that should be... OOTP is on its own track. Right. You're partially deaf in your left ear. I have trouble, I think, in my left ears as well. But, fuck, the Mets beat the Phils. Oh, my God. Right, here's the 2-1. That's lined into center field. High into center field, but playable. And making the catch is center fielder George Bird. So it'll be an F8 on the putout, and that will retire the sign. Oh, was I explaining Olympics colors? I think so. At all three of my saves that I have in OOTP that started in 1871, all three of them have different colors, the teams. So I don't think Washington was teal or turquoise. I think in real life they had their main color was yellow. It was like yellow and something. But I don't remember what their actual colors were. I looked it up ages ago, but I don't remember now offhand. Right. No runs on one hit. They leave one aboard. We go to the top of the 6th. We are still tied at 3. Right. Where is he? Where is he? He's here. He's here. There he is. The 6th inning is brought to you by Leo the Mitsala. He's the greatest Turkish streamer, I'm going to say. Here he is playing Football Manager. He's doing a bottom to top like I did, an extended England level 20 to the top. He's talking about Football Manager, by the way. It's his cat. It's his cat. His cat, yeah. That is definitely orange cat behavior. You know what the funny thing is? Sean Curtis, who also streams Out of the Park Baseball, his cat does the same thing and interrupts him every broadcast. The troublemaking assistant manager, yeah. He's an ass man. Bam, bam. So, here's the big question for Leo, by the way. Do you want the 6th inning to be sponsored by you or Miso? We'll see. While you answer that question, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in 60 seconds' time. I agree. Welcome back. 6th inning here in Washington, D.C. at the Olympic grounds. 3:23 in the afternoon. About to be 3:27 now in the afternoon. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game going into the 6th. Miso, is the sponsor. After this game, I'm going to continue playing my 1901 season. All the games you reminded me next is Milwaukee, Detroit, April 25th. Oh, you're early in the season then. You're early in the season. Right. Top 6, George Wright will be the first man up. The shortstop is 0 for 2 so far with a line out and a pop-up. Here's the first pitch to him. And he'll take that on the outside part of the plate for a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's below the knees, ball 1. Oh, the 1-1 is going to be, I totally didn't mean to hit that Okay. The 1-1's going to be lined right at the second baseman. And L4 on the putout. That is the first out of the inning. Dick McBride, the pitcher, will be next. He is 1 for 2 so far today. Going to play with Tigers. They won 14-13 real life. Got all the lineups written down. Nice. Here's the first pitch to Dick McBride. Oh, did he hit him? No, it's just inside. 1-0. There's the 1-0. Swung on and missed, and that's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's high, ball 2. 2-1 to Dick McBride. Swung on, fouled on the third base side. Count is even, 2-2. Here's the pitch. It's lined into right field. This could be, it's always trying to make a play, and he couldn't make it in right field. And it will be a double. He had to dive for it, the right fielder. That was Elmer White who attempted to make the dive to catch that ball. He couldn't get it. It rolled to the wall. And pitcher Dick McBride is into second base with a double. You got to check. That's why I said on my OOTP Go commentary they should probably have challenges in this game. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like the old ESPN NFL used to do, like famous NFL games. You know what I mean? They had like 4th and 26 was in there. The Immaculate Reception. Dick McBride, yeah. That brings up third baseman Cap Anson, who was still looking for his first hit in this ball game. 0 for 3 so far today. Runner in scoring position, 1 out. Here's the first pitch, and that's taken right down the chute for a called strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's swung on, lined into right at the first baseman, and that is the second out of the inning. L3 on the putout. And McBride will be held at second. Yeah, they had silly names back in the day and crazy cool nicknames. Candy Cummings, New York Giants, Dickie Pierce, also on the same team. Dickie Pierce is in this save. New York Mutuals, my bad. Yeah, Dickie Pierce is in this save. I can't remember where he's at, Dickie Pierce. I thought we just had him last game. Where's Dickie Pierce? In our save. He's definitely somewhere. I remember seeing his name. I see Dickie Flowers. Dickie Pierce is on the Philadelphia Athletics in our save. Right, here's the first pitch to George Hall, who is 2 for 3 today. And he's popped it up. He swung at the first pitch in the infield, right over at first base. And, oh, the first baseman's missed it. No way. The first baseman's made an error. He couldn't catch it. It's an E3. Safe at first is George Hall. Over to third is Dick McBride. It's going to be Charlie Gold who gets credited for the error. And now it's runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. First pitch is check swing. It's a ball. Nobody goes on it. This is Ross Barnes at the plate. He is 1 for 3 so far today. First pitch swung on, grounded over to third. On to second in time, and that is going to retire the inning. The error does not cost them in the end. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 6th here, and it's still tied at 3. Due up first. Third baseman John Ratcliffe. You say Olympics are shaky this inning on defense. Both teams have made 4 errors now. Right, John Ratcliffe is up first. He has a 2 RBI double and a ground out so far in this game. Here's the first pitch from Dick McBride. That's low and inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to short, or second, sorry. On to first, that's in time. And that's the first out of the inning. 4-3 on the put out. And that will bring up Charlie Mills, the catcher. Mills has an RBI single, a stolen base, and he also grounded out. First pitch to Mills. That's just off the plate in 1-0. Speaking of nicknames, by the way, my favorite for 1871 so far is Count Sensendorfer. That's just a great name. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, that's lined. It's going to be a base hit. Into left field, it's a single. And Charlie Mills has got his second hit of the game. Remember seeing reactions to gameplays on Astros content creator on live stream. He blocked me. It was yesterday, I think. We said no harm, no foul. What does that mean, Ben? I don't know. No harm, no foul just means usually like remember saying reaction to gameplays on Astro content creator on live stream. He blocked me. I think no harm, no foul means like, well, no harm, no foul means like don't worry about it essentially. But if he blocked you, then he's worried about it. So I have no clue. That doesn't make any sense in that context, you know? Right. It's Elmer White. Popped up, grounded out. His first 2 at-bats. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. Over to second. They're going to gun him down. He is out at second base. Caught stealing is Charlie Mills. It was on YouTube. Yeah, I know, but if it doesn't, I get that, but it still doesn't make sense if he's blocked you saying no harm, no foul, unless he unblocked you. So that brings up, that's 2 outs, base is empty. Elmer White here. 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. That's grounded back up into hole through second and short, and it's a base hit for Elmer White. Now how much does that caught stealing hurt them? They would have had a runner in scoring position, and now they don't. But a runner on first, 1 or 2 outs here. That brings up Al Pratt, the pitcher. Reached via an error and popped up his last at bat. Here he is. He's 0 for 2. First pitch is a wild pitch. It's technically counted as a pass ball. And Elmer White will get the second. I don't know. As Astros content creator, yeah, that's the one reason I think I don't like about YouTube. If you get banned in my channel here, you're not allowed, you're not able to watch the stream anymore. I don't know. Astros can be very touchy supporters. I know that, but I don't know why that would happen. That's a line into left field, right at the left fielder. And that is going to be the end of the inning. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the 7th, and it's still tied 3-3. That sounds like somebody who's overly touchy. I don't know. You know? So, but it's all good. I moved on, like you said. Looking forward to your next stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. OOTP comes back. I'm going to try to do it so that I have 1 series that I record a week after this week. So, for example, or after next week. So, for example, I record Out of the Park. I record F1 this week. Next week, I record Out of the Park and Unreal Tournament. The following week, I might just do one Out of the Park game, and that's it. The following week, I might do Action Time in, and that's it. But I'm trying to get it so that I can catch up on my uploads to YouTube, so that I only record one video a week. And then once I clear the backlog, then I'll do, Add the Park and Action Time and CLGFC in the same week and stuff. So that sounds fun. So At a Peak Weekly every Monday, sometimes. I think it's just going to be every Monday. And the weeks that I want to play Action Time in, there'll be no OOTP that week. So it'll probably be like 2 to 3 Mondays out of the month. But we'll definitely do that. Here's the first pitch to Lip Pike, by the way, who's going to lead off the top of the 7th for the Rockford Forest Citys. Pike is 2 for 2. He's got a walk, a double, and the 2 RBI home run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is high for a ball. I might just do OOTPs on Monday. I don't know. Honestly, it depends on my mood a lot of the time. A lot of the time, what I stream is based on what I feel like. So. Right. The 1-1 pitch. That's chop foul behind home plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's taken below the knees for a ball. All I could ever say is check the schedule. The schedule will always be up to date. Here's the 2-2. That's, oh my God, that's grounded right in front of the catcher. Over to first, and it's a bad throw from the catcher. I don't believe that. Makes me feel better. I was kind of stressed out about it because I felt like I did nothing wrong, but sometimes when small YouTube sports creators tend to be careful, there was no mods on that channel. I mean, if somebody might just really... People have a rational hate for other sports teams at times, myself included, and that can cause them to make very illogical decisions. And, he might have a hatred of the Yankees, like a deep hatred for the Yankees. And you mentioning the Yankees might have just triggered him. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to be aware of it. I mean, most people aren't. Eagles fans tend to be that way when it comes to like Cowboys and especially Cowboys fans. And it's just like, you guys we don't need that. We don't need that anywhere. Right. That brings up Doug Allison. He's 0 for 3 so far today. First pitch to Doug Allison is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Doug Allison. That swung on, grounded right back up to second base. Over to first in time, and that is the first out of the inning. So 4-3 on the putout, but making it to third base is Lip Pike, and now he's in scoring position with only 1 out. It's misleading, spamming, not Astros content creator rules. You know how every content creator sets rules for shit. Mine are a plethora, by the way. I'm well aware that mine are my rules. You guys, I changed them today. So here's a question, actually. And baseball fan, Pix, Leo, if you guys are still in chat. When you came in, did it prompt you to accept the channel rules again? Because I changed them today. I edited them today. And I didn't know if when you came in you had to know. Okay. I don't know if it's every time. I would have assumed every time that you come in, I would assume every time that I change the channel rules, it would make every user have to re-accept them. Because I changed them. But yeah, I made small edits to the channel rules today. I'll read them. Good luck, brother. I actually, I actually changed it so I actually couldn't even fit them all. If you type exclamation point rules, right? I couldn't fit them all in the chat command. There's so many of them. So I actually just made a post on Blue Sky and fucking wrote all my rules on Blue Sky. So I'm like, listen, there's a thread of all the rules on Blue Sky because I can't fit them all in the chat. I feel like I might sound like the rules might make me sound like a dick, and I'm well aware of that. But I think that what people essentially, right? Think of my channel rules as if it's the MLS. You ever know? You guys that play Football Manager, baseball fan, you're not really gonna know, but you know how complex MLS rules are and how everyone says that the rules are complex in MLS, and it's because that's how the league's kind of developed over 30 years, and they've made all these rules to deal with situations on how the league's developed over 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my channel rules are the same way. They've developed into what they are now because I've been streaming for 6 years, you know? So, it doesn't surprise me that my rules are that lengthy because after 6 years, you see stuff that comes up that you might want to avoid again that wasn't against the chat rule at the beginning. You know what I mean? There it is in the link. Nice Twitter logo has that action time and it looks like it's animated. It's a raunchy gotcha game, baseball fan. I play it. I have a series of it on my YouTube as well. I think we have 26 or 27 episodes of it now on YouTube as well. So, right. Back to the baseball, shall we? One out here. Joe Start is at the plate. He is 1 for 2 so far. Here's the first pitch. He's going to take it right down the chute. Or no, it's inside. That's a ball. I'm sorry. I made the strike call. Or outside, I should say. That's a ball. Here's the 1-0. That is grounded over to short. They go for the play at home, and is he safe? He's out at home plate. 6-2. It's a fielder's choice 6-2 for Joe Start. We got to get that runner from home from third lip bite. Let's see what happens. He couldn't do it. And now Rockford to have a runner on first with 2 outs. Here's George Bird. He's 0 for 1. He has a walk, a sac bunt, and a ground out. First pitch is inside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, grounded over towards shortstop. The throw one to second. Did they get him? Yes, they did. They got him at second base. 6-4 on the putout. And it's another fielder's choice. But that will retire the side. And every baseball fan knows what comes next. It's time. We're going to step away, stretch the legs. It's time for a time-honored tradition here in baseball. It's time for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Oh, Pib knows. Pib knows. Pixelated suits. You absolute goat. Thank you for the sub, my man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Pib. How you doing, bro? Is this game good? Yes, it is a lot of fun. Uh, Pib, it's a lot of fun. Get these cool emotes. The VAR emote. I want to commission that artist so badly in 2026. Pib, this is excellent. For those of you that don't know, Pib is one of the guys I used to commentate Counter-Strike with way back in the day now. So, yeah, Pib knows what's up, man. We go back a ways. He's a great guy. Welcome in, Pib, man. I hope you're doing well, brother. It's great to see you. Right, we got ourselves a bottom of the 7th here. Tie game at 3. Rockford 2-4. Washington 1-2. Hope you do it. Yes, sir, man. Living the life, talking to a girl. It's coming together. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, man. I gotta turn Firefox audio back off real quick. There we go. I'm doing great. Me and mine are pushing. You know what's crazy? We're at like we're almost at 5.5 years now, which is kind of nuts. It's actually really nuts. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, and then it's just crazy to me because it's like in 4 months I'm gonna be. Well, mine is at 6 months this week. Let's go, my man. Let's go. Yeah. Congrats. Thanks. It's just crazy to me that in 5 months I'm gonna be 38. Then in 7 months she's gonna be 24. And then in 9 months we're gonna be like 6 years, which is kind of crazy. It's been a long. That's like it doesn't feel like that long, you know. Right, bottom 7. Bottom 7. Bottom 7th. Yeah. Ed Duffy is going to be leading off here. No way, 30. You look 20 at the moment, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's because the headphones hide the gray. Essentially, I got rid of it here, and the headphones hide the rest of it. So, let's get on with the bottom of the 7th inning, shall we? Ed Duffy coming up to the plate. He is the second baseman. He is 0 for 3 so far today. It's going back already. I know. I'm going to shave it off this week. I might Wednesday, actually, because I get my hair cut Thursday, and I usually pay the barber to do it. You know what I mean? Like, he usually takes the thing, but I did it, like, I got rid of it myself for last weekend. And part of me is like, I don't need him to do it now. And if I just get rid of it Wednesday, he can't do it. And it's like it's like $12, $13 I save. So it's like, you know what? I might just, you know. Right, Dick McBride pitching to Ed Duffy. Here's the first pitch to Ed. Here in the bottom of the 7th innings. That is swung on and missed. It's 0-1. If you joined us, Pib, we're in the 1871 season. The very first professional baseball season. This is 4th place in the National League. Rockford Forest Citys out of only 5 clubs. 2-4 is the record. They are against bottom of the American League, or 4th place Washington Olympics, who are 1-2. The Olympics are 2.5 games back of the AL, and Rockford are 2 games back of the NL. The date in the game is the 20th of May, 1871. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is high. Ball 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Or the 1-2, sorry. That's off the plate away. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Oh, check swing. Did he go? Third base umpire says no, he did not. And the count runs full. Commented on the Philly Union shirt. Troy Haymakers, purple logo. Team like, oh, you know what? They're black and white, I think, in this save. Give it the vibes on Troy. Yeah, they came out with this like baseball style shirt, and I'm like, who doesn't love a good baseball style button up? So you give me a baseball style button up and my favorite professional sports team in the whole world. Yeah, of course I'm gonna buy it. Full count here. Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded, foul. And here's the seventh pitch of the at bat. It's grounded over the third. On to first. Does he get there in time? No, it's a bad throw. And Ed Duffy, for the second time this game, is going to reach on an error. E5 is the error. Third baseman Cap Anson makes his third error of the game. Sorry. And I'm pretty sure it's his third error, I think, right? Where's the box score? Yeah, Anson's got 3. Philly Athletics so far. Other Philly team will come. Phillies, I think, is 1880s. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. It's Fort Wayne Keck-Young. That's my bet. Yeah, they're in here. I think they're also a New York team as well, if I remember correctly. That brings up Tom Foley, the center fielder. He is currently 0 for 3. A line out, a ground out, a pop out. Here's the first pitch. He bunts it down the third, but what a great bunt. What a great bunt. Over to first. It's a bad throw from Cap Anson. This is going to be troublesome. And Anson has made 4 errors in this game. And not only that, Foley, it's a 2-base error. So Foley gets the second. Going to third is Ed Duffy. And this is disaster for Rockford, who currently have they have 2 runners in scoring position against them. And there's nobody out. Fort Wayne, major city in Indiana. Oh, you're right. It's Indiana. It's Indiana. You're right. Imagine having to travel in 1871 from Indiana to go play the New York Mutuals. You know what I mean? Imagine that. Think of, they didn't have cars back then. The trains were barely operational, right? Like, that's the crazy thing about it when you think about this first professional baseball league. Right, here's the first pitch to Ned Cuthbert. He is 1 for 3 so far today with a single. He's going to ground this right back to the mound. Over to first, and he's got it in time. Runners stay. First on second and third. I don't really know how the transportation, how they got there from place to place. I mean, it probably would have been by train. You know? The train in the East Coast was probably built by then, or they were being built by then. But it certainly wasn't by car. But yeah. Buggies, yeah, buggies were probably it. Here's Bass, first pitch. He's going to line that into center field. This is runs. This is run. Oh, it's an error by the center fielder as well. John Bass gets a single. So Bass, who was 1 for 3, gets a single, and then an E8 gets him to second base. Scoring on the play is Ed Duffy. Scoring on the play is Tom Foley. And just like that, it is a 5-3 ball game. Charlie Gold comes up. He is 0 for 3 so far today. But Washington have taken the lead. First pitch. And that is foul. Don't tell me this is 4-win Rockford or Iro if we get better. If we got better than there. Yeah, there's still time left, but this team on paper should be good, and they are not right now. The fielding is really their Achilles heel. I mean, 7 errors. The enter of the center fielder, by the way, was George Bird. 7 errors is not good. Here's the 0-1. That is swung. Oh, he checked his swing, And the first base umpire says yes, he went, and so that'll be a second strike for Charlie Gold. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Gold. That is, we checked the swing again, but this time he did not go, and it's ball one. Here's the 1-2. That's lined right back up through the middle. Base hit, could be runs. Here comes the throw in. Base will be held at third, and it's a single here, a one-out single to make it runners on the corners. John Ratcliffe at bat. He has a 2 RBI double in the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch to him. That's inside. Ball one. Gold looking like he wants to run. I don't think he needs to. That 9-error game. Yeah, I know. I think the most we've had so far is 11 by one team even. Here's the 1-0. That's ball two. They're going to go for second base. Is he in there? He's safe in there at second base. And Charlie Gold has stolen second base. That's a big steal. 2 runners in scoring position now. Takes the double play ball away. 2-0 pitch. It's called strike on the inside part of the plate. And now it's 0-1. It's 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, foul down the first base side. 1848 he was born, John Radcliffe, and he's coming back to haunt me. A fellow Philadelphian right now is coming back to haunt me. Here's the 2-2. That is taken for a ball. 3-2. Full count to John Radcliffe. Swung on. That's grounded foul. The 8th pitch of the at-bat. That's lined into left field. It could drop. It's going to drift foul. And we go to nine pitches this at-bat. Here it is. That's swung on. Grounded over to short. Can they get the runner in home? He is out at home plate. Fielder's choice. 6-4. I'm sorry, 6-2. But they do get the lead runner. Going to third base is Charlie Gold. And now it's runners on the corners, but there are 2 outs. That will bring up Charlie Mills, the catcher. He is 2 for 3 so far today. He's got an RBI and a stolen base. He was also caught stealing. Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on. That's lined into left field. Right at the left fielder, and he makes the play. And Rockford limit the damage, but they do still surrender 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and Washington have a 5-3 lead. He went to bed about an hour ago, but it doesn't matter. The 8th inning is still going to be sponsored by the wonderful Crack Attack Central, Ireland's greatest streamer, recently seen playing Hollow Knight. Whoa, okay. What? Why is this the clip? Why is it, what a clip from Crack. Right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in a minute with more. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 8th inning here in Washington. And Rockford Forest Citys here trying to, well, they got to answer back for the 2 runs they surrendered in the previous inning. Al Pratt still pitching on the mound for Washington. George Wright is the first man due up. He's 0 for 3. 2 line outs and a pop out. Here's the first pitch to him. Ooh, check swing. But he definitely didn't go, and it's definitely inside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, that's popped up in the infield. First baseman's coming over to get it. He will, and that is the first out of the inning. P3 on the putout. And that'll bring up Dick McBride himself. He is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Here's the first pitch. He's going to take that off the plate away for a ball. There's the 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Dick McBride. Swung on, that's lined deep into right field. The right fielder comes over to get it, though. And that is the second out of the inning. F9 on the play. He got pretty good wood on that, but he couldn't seem to find the gap between center and right. And that'll retire him for the second out of the inning. Now we go back to the top of the order. Cap Anson now, who's made 4 errors in this game. My boy Cap Anson, what you going to do? What you going to do? Hall of Famer legend. He is not having a great game. He is 0 for 4. 2 lineouts, a ground out, and reached via an error. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the first pitch to Cap. He's going to take it, ball 1. Takes it away. Here's the 1-0. That's high, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. He swung on, that's right at the second baseman, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's still 5-3 Washington. He's captain of this team pretty much, IRL, and you're safe? Nice. Elmer White will be the first man due up. He is currently 1 for 3. Right. Rockford need a 3-up, 3-down inning here to get this to the 9th, where they'll be down to their last half inning. Here's the first pitch for White. That is going to be high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's low and away. Ball 2. I'm also wearing my girlfriend's bracelet for good luck, but it's blue teal. That's fine. That's fine. Here's the first pitch. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's low and in. 3-1. Just means I get to blame the loss on. No, I'm not gonna do that. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Small, and that's popped up right back at the pitcher's mound. The shortstop's coming in for it. The pitcher will move aside, and that will be the first out of the inning. Pop 6, P6 for the first out. It's going to bring up pitcher Al Pratt, who is currently 0 for 3. Reached via an error, popped up, flied out. First pitch to him. That is lined right at the shortstop, and that is going to be out number 2. So P6, L6 is what we got. That's fine. P6, L6 is what we got. Very funny. All kidding aside, yeah. That brings up the top of the order. Ed Duffy. Duffy has flied out, popped out, and reached twice via an error. Here's the first pitch to Ed Duffy. Swung on and missed. 0-1. That actually cracked really loud. I put my finger against my chin like that to crack the knuckle, and that thing just went pop real loud. Wow. Oh, right. Is the 0-1 pitch. That's a called strike at the lettering. 0-2. What I heard, sometimes you go stretch out. Yeah, it's not. It's actually really healthy to crack your knuckles. It's been proven to help fight arthritis. Like, I think it says it reduces the onset of arthritis by like 13 to 17%. So brother told me that. Yeah, it's basically just an air bubble. When you crack a knuckle, it's just an air bubble that pops in your knuckle, like it's a piece of air that popped, and then the fluid that your body produces that it puts between all your joints so that the bones don't rub up against you, but they just basically fill that space that you just popped. That's all cracking a knuckle basically is. Right, here's the 0-2. That's lined into left field, deep in the left field. That's going to settle for a base hit. That's a great shot. Is he going to go for 3? He is going to go for 3, and he's going to get in there. It's a triple for Ed Duffy here in the bottom of the 8th. Felt like you cracked bones and you're injured. Is it blood or fluid? No, it's like not cartilage, but it's not blood, but it's not cartilage, but it's like it might be cartilage, but it's all the stuff for it's just a fluid that your body produces that it puts between all of your bones so that your knuckles don't rub onto each other, like against each other, because bone on bone is very painful. If you've ever had like a joint go out or whatever, having bone on bone is extremely painful. So your body produces a fluid within itself that fills the spaces between your joints. And that's how they operate like this, right? So, and when you crack it, it just is fluid, the normal fluid that goes in there. A triple, and yeah, I guess it's not. It is. It's all this. Right, Tom Foley is due up. He has popped up, grounded out, lined it out, and reached via an error. He's 0 for 4. Here's the first pitch. That is he just saved it. He just saved it. It's a ball. Could have gone to the backstop. It would have been 6-3 had it did. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. And it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul. Remains 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's also fouled. He got that really late, actually. Sometimes the wrist bone pops out and it feels uncomfortable, so you move your arm and it would. Oh, okay. I don't have that. I don't have it coming out of joint. That's when it literally comes out of joint, what you're describing. That is painful. Here's the 1-2. That's lined into right field. It's back. It's deep. It's going to trap. It's going to be runs. It is a great shot into right field to the fence. It's a RBI double. And Tom Foley gets his first hit of the game, and it's an RBI to make it 6-3 Washington. That'll bring up Ned Cuthbert. Cuthbert is 1 for 4 so far today with a single. Here is the first pitch. That's taken low for a ball. The 1-0 pitch. Taken low, ball 2. These thankfully only last a few, and Dick McBride is having a bad outing today. I don't even think it's Dick McBride. I don't think today's got any. He has 2 earned of the 6. He's responsible for the guy, and that last one was an earned run, but he's given up 10 hits, yes, but it's definitely, I mean, they have 7 errors, so yeah, it's definitely fielding. Here's the 2-0. That is high, ball 3. The 3-0, and that is a walk. He's walked him on a pitch on the inside, and just like that, Ned Cuthbert gets aboard first. John Bass, the shortstop, will come up. He is 1 for 4 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Bass. That is a pass ball. Oh, it's a wild pitch. Okay. It's a wild pitch. Going to third is Foley. Going to second is Cuthbert. And now runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. That's chop foul. Here's the 1-1. That swung on, lined into left field. More runs. Oh, it's a bad throw. It's an it's a throwing. Oh my God, it's everything. It's a single, right? And then it's an RBI single, but it's also an E7. And on the E7, so Foley scores naturally. He's the RBI. Cuthbert goes to third, and then the E7 brings him home. 7 is the left fielder. That's George Hall who makes the error. The 8th error for Rockford in this game. And so it's now 8-3. Hopefully when we get to Phillies, we can manage them and get all the championships. I'm actually managing Rockford. My ass is going to be on the hot seat. Right, that is the end of Dick McBride's night. So bad throw by left fielder and catcher can't catch it. Goes the backstop. Yep. Frank Fleet will be the catcher, or will be the pitcher. Fleet is 0 for 1 with 11 earned runs against him so far this season. Right. First pitch from Frank Fleet. Here's the pitch. That's it's a swinging strike and a pass ball. So it's a strike and it's a pass ball. And Bass went to second, by the way, on that error. So now he's on third. And it's 0-1. Gold, by the way, 1 for 4 with a stolen base and a run so far today. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Line deep, high into center field, still going, and it's off the top of the wall. It's going to be a triple from Charlie Gold. He's in there safe at third, and it's an RBI triple for Gold, and it's now 9-3 Washington. That brings up John Ratcliffe. He is 1 for 4 today with a 2 RBI double. Here's the first pitch. Swung on, line. That's a just strips foul. Here's the 0-1. That is lined into left field. More runs. An RBI single for John Ratcliffe, and the man that they have brought in to help stop the bleeding has not been able to put the tourniquet on, as Washington put up a 5 spot here in the 8th. That makes it 10-3. Charlie Mills is the next batter up, 2 for 4 today with 2 singles and RBI. Here's the first pitch. Swung on into left field, and that is foul. First game of season nightmares is not pretty. Oh, that could have been a double RBI single. Yeah. Yeah, his ERA's got to be high. He's 0 for 1. He's got, what, 8 innings pitched? His ERA's 13.5. 8 innings pitched. Here's the 0-1. And he's hit the batter. He's plunked the batter. So Ratcliffe will go to second. Mills goes to first, and we've batted around the order. We're back at Elmer White now, who's led off the inning. He popped up his first at bat. He's 1 for 4. It's a bad luck to our team. I'm going to take it home. So, Ed against. Here's the pitch to Elmer White. That's low and in for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on. That's fouled. And the count is now 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Outside. Ball 2. And now it's 2-2. Here's the pitch. Line deep into center field. Right at the center fielder who makes the grab. And the inning finally is over. 5 runs on 5 hits. And they leave 2 aboard. I'm sorry. No, on 4 hits. And they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the 9th. It is now 10-3 Washington. We're going to take a quick 60-second time up. Before we do that, by the way, the man got back into streaming himself. He streams Teamfight Tactics. Counter-Strike is the former Counter-Strike commentator like me. Here he is playing Siege. It's the great Pib. Your 9th inning brought to you by Pib. Oh my God. That's a crazy shot, Pib. Blockbuster could never. Right, we'll be back with the 9th in 60 seconds time. Welcome back. 9th inning here in Washington. Rockford trailing by 7. George Hall will be the first batter up. He's actually being replaced. He's being subbed out. Harry Dean will come in to pinch hit. Dean is 0 for 1 so far this season. Here's the first pitch from Al Pratt. That is high and away for a ball. Pratt only on 90 pitches through the first 8 innings, by the way. Here's the 0-1 or the 1-0. That's grounded over to second. On to first. That's in time, and that is the first out of the inning. 4-3 on the putout. That's going to bring up another substitute. that's going to bring up pinch hitter Tom Pratt, who's also 0 for 1 so far this season. He comes in for second baseman Ross Barnes. Here's the pitch. Lined into left field. That's a base hit. Pratt comes in with a pinch hit. And he's aboard. And I've wrote it all in the extra inning spot and not the 9th inning spot like an idiot. So let me just correct that real quick. We had 4-3 for Dean, and then we had a single for Pratt. The two Pratts, are they related? Who's the better hitter? I have no clue. Al Pratt's 0 for 4, so I'm going to say Tom Pratt because he's 1 for 1. Right, that's going to bring up another substitute, by the way. Subbing in for right fielder Lip Pike. I don't know why he hit the home run. He's 2 for 4. 2 for 3, sorry. Is pinch hitter Al Barker, who is also 0 for 1 so far this season. Here's the first pitch to Al Barker. And that is taken for a called strike. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, that's grounded right back to the mound. Can they get there in time for second base? They got him at second. On the force. That is 1-6 on the putout. Oh, hold on. And Rockford are down to their final out. That brings up catcher Doug Allison. He's flied out, pumped out, reached via an error, and grounded out. Here's the first pitch to Doug Allison. He takes it inside. Or no, that is a called strike on the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Philly Athletics, Tom Pratt, 1870. He's got a lot of power. He's got 102 for power. That's insane. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's lined deep into center field. Going back on it's the center field. It's off the base of the wall. Allison keeps Rockford's dreams here alive. He slides in, and he gets the double. Going to third is Pratt. Now there's 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. That'll bring up Joe Start. He is 1 for 3 so far today. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Lined into center field, right at the center fielder who comes in, makes the catch. And the ball game is over. No runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard in the 9th. And that will do it. Final score here from Washington. Game time 2 hour 25. With the final score, the Rockford Forest Citys 3, the Washington Olympics 10. Game time 2:25. And now we get to do the fun part. We get to tally it all up. Here's the box scores. I'll start with the pitchers. Right, I'm sorry, let's not start with the pitchers. Let's start with the batters, shall we? We had more doubles, just couldn't get them in. Yeah. That was the story of the and the errors as well. Right, Cap Anson, he finished 0 for 5, by the way. 5 at bats, not a single hit. He did have a run because he reached via error and came around. He also had 4 fielding errors. Right, George Hall, he finished with 4 at bats, 2 hits. Um, Ross Barnes, he finished with 4 at bats, 1 hit, and it was a double. Lip Pike, he finished with 3 at bats, okay, 2 hits, 1 was a double, 1 was a home run, 1 was he did draw a walk, he had 2 RBIs as well. Great game actually from Lip Pike. Can you say attendance? Attendance was 474. The rain did not do anything to the game to delay it, but 474 was the attendance. Right. Doug Allison. He had 5 at bats, and he had 1 hit, and it was a double. Joe Start. He had 4 at bats, 1 hit, 1 sack. Oh, I have to mark that Lip Pike also scores a run because it's technically a home run. It's a run and a home run and an RBI, right? George Bird, 3 at bats. I'm sorry, 2 at bats. 2 at bats for George Bird. No hits. He drew 1 walk. He had 1 fielding error as well. George Hall had a fielding error as well, by the way. George Wright, 4 at bats, no hits, 2 fielding errors. Dick McBride, 4 at bats, 2 hits, 1 of which was a double. Harry Dean, 1 at bat, no hit. Tom Pratt, 1 at bat, it was a hit. And Al Barker, 1 at bat, no hit. And there you go. Okay, so final number of at bats for Rockford Forest Citys: 5, 9, 13, 16, 21, 25, 27, 31, 35, 36, 37, 38 at bats for the Rockford Forest Citys. All in all, hit wise, they had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 hits. Yep. Runs scored. Who scored the other run? Because I only tallied 2. I got 1 here. I got Cap Anson's run. Somebody else scored a run, didn't they? Oh, yeah. I forgot to write George Hall. He came home. Hall came home on the home run. I forgot to write that down. So George Hall gets the credit for the run. So that's 3 runs for Rockford. Doubles, 1, 2, 3, 4. They also had the home run. Base on balls was 2. Fielding errors was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nobody struck out. Nobody stole base. There was 1 sack. 1 sack? 1 sack, I think. I think it was only 1 sack. Yeah, 1 sack. RBIs, 1, 2. The home run was the only RBIs, by the way. Not like postponed, just like fielding. Cause yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, just the 2 RBIs. Right, that means that Al Pratt on the pitching side pitched 9 innings. Right. He gave up the 10 hits. I believe only 2 of the runs were earned. Yeah, 3 runs, 2 were earned, 2 base on balls. Pitch count, I have him at 98 for a pitch count. That's really low for this era. Even by today's standards, 98 for a complete game is like incredible. You know what I mean? Like that's really good. He had no strikeouts, and he got the win. He got the win. Right, let's do the stats for the batters on the Washington side. Ed Duffy, he had 5 at-bats. He had 1 hit. It was a triple. He also scored 2 runs. Tom Foley, he had 5 at-bats. He had 1 hit. He scored 2 runs. That hit was a double. Let's see. Ned Cuthbert, he had 4 at-bats. And he had 3 at-bats. My bad. He had 3 at-bats. Whoa. 3. Um, he had 1 hit, scored 2 runs, drew a base on balls. By the way, Tom Foley had a fielding error. John Bass, he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 5 at-bats. He scored 2 runs. He had 2 hits. And he had an RBI. He also committed 2 fielding errors. Charlie Gold, he had 5 at-bats. He had 2 hits, one of which was a triple. He also had a RBI. He stole a base, and he scored 2 runs. He also made a fielding error. John Ratcliffe had I just wanted to make sure I got the. Where's the other base on balls, by the way? Am I looking at it right? Where's the other base on balls? There were 2 bases on balls, I think, for these guys. I have the one. Oh, here it is. Okay. No. There were 2. Oh, no. Dick only walked 1 guy, right? Good outing. Went distance. Yeah, he did. I mean, they all do back in this era because they're throwing underhanded, but still. To do it in 98 pitches is really, really, really good. Right, John Ratcliffe. He had 5 at-bats. He had 2 hits. He had 3 RBIs, and one of the hits was a double. By the way, Charlie Mills, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, he had 5. He had 4 at-bats. He had 2 hits. He stole 1 base. Both hits were singles. He was also caught stealing. Um, let's see. Elmer White had 5 at-bats, and he only had 1 hit. That's literally it. And then Al Pratt had 4 at-bats, no hits. Right, so the total at-bats for the Washington Olympic: 5, 10, 13, 18, 23, 28, 32, 37, 41 at-bats. Runs 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Hold on. Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have. Is that correct? They have 13. Did I fuck up somewhere? Did I mess up somewhere? You should have 2. You should have nothing. No, you have 1. You have 1. You have 1. You have 1, 2. Right? You have 1, 2. You have 1, 2. You have 1, 2. You have the 1. Hold on. Hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have where's the other hit? Duffy had 1 in the 8th inning. Foley had 1 in the 8th inning. Cuthbert had 1 in the 5th because he walked. The other one was a walk. So that's 1 in the 5th. So that's 3. Bass had 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 7th. So that's up to 5. Gold had 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. So that's up to 7. Ratcliffe had 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 8th. So that's up to 9. Mills had 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 6th. So that's up to 11. Elmer White had 1 in the 8th. 1, 2. That's all I have. Where did I mess up? Where did I mess up? You have Bass having 3 hits. Oh, I forgot to circle the. You know what it was? I know what it was. I forgot to circle his single in the 8th. I have it just listed as E7. That was where he singled, and then the throwing error from the right fielder got him over the second. I totally forgot that. Totally missed that. Okay, then that's good. Yeah, that's 13 hits, and then doubles was 1, 2. I have 2 doubles for Washington. They had 2 triples. They made 1, 2, 3, 4 fielding errors. 4 errors. You have 5 errors. Who made the error? E2. Did I get that error in the? I didn't catch the. I forgot to mark the error on the catcher, Charlie Mills. So that's 1 for you. And then yes, that makes 5 errors. Base on balls. I don't think 1. No strikeouts. They stole a base. They stole 2 bases, did they? Yeah, they stole 2 bases. And sacks. Did they have any sacks? I don't think they really did any sacks, did they? I don't see any sacks here. Nope. And then RBIs. That's the last thing we want to total. RBIs. Foley had 1. I forgot to grab that one. Bass had 1. Gold had 1. Ratcliffe had 3. Mills had 1. And that was it. So RBIs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 RBIs. So really productive day at the plate. He advanced on error. Bass play. Yeah. He played outfield. Yeah. Right. So Dick McBride, 7.2 innings. He's going to get credited with the loss. 112 pitches, 1 walk, no strikeouts, 11 hits, 9 runs, 5 earned. Frank Fleet, literally a third of an inning, .1 innings. His pitch count was 12. He gave up the other 2 hits. He gave up the other run, and it was earned, I believe. Yes, it was. And he gave up no base on balls, no strikeouts. Okay. Rockford are going to fall to 2-5. The Washington Olympics are 2-2. Let's see what it does to the standings. Oh, I'm right there. Hello. Rockford fall 2.5 games back of the Fort Wayne Kekiungas, who lead the National League. And the Washington Olympics will jump ahead of the Cleveland Forest Citys by a half game. They are now they're still within 2 games. Well, they were 2.5 back. They're now within 2 games of the league best 6-2 Boston Red Sox. Yes, they're 500. Another way of saying it. Yep. And you can save the game. The game does autosave every time I advance. Pretty historically accurate. Nice. So every day that we play, the game will auto advance. So we'll finish today. The next game. When's the next game? We're almost in June. Oh, there it is. The next game. This is a big AL matchup. I don't know, because have we done Cleveland yet? Have we done Cleveland? When's the last time we done Cleveland? Because I've done Washington now. I did Boston the game prior. Troy and New York was the game before that. Fort Wayne and Philly was the game before that. New York and Troy was the game before that. Troy and Rockford was the game before that. Washington and New York was the game. I think we got our answer at which game we're playing. I don't think we've done Cleveland at all. I think we've done 1 game of Cleveland. The last game we did of Cleveland was on the 28th of April. It's been a month. Philly, Washington, we're going to do the other game because it's been too long since we've covered Cleveland. So, right. The next game, your choice. I'm going to pick this one because we haven't covered Cleveland in a long time. The next game will be the 6-2 Boston Red Stockings at the 2-3 Cleveland Forest Citys. It will take place on the 23rd of May, 1871. So I'm literally typing it in now, and then we'll get out of here. For those on Twitch, we're gonna commentate that game on Monday, September the 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. For those on YouTube, that'll be the next OOTP game. Look forward to it. Should be a good one. Right. Thank you for watching. This is going to be a hard game for Cleveland. I'm gonna go for them. So Philly gets first place. Yes, I'm kind of want Cleveland to win that game too. I think Cleveland aren't a bad team. We can maybe take a look at the lineups if you want here real quick. So here are the Cleveland Forest Citys and how they line up. Deacon White is the big marquee guy. Is there stats? Where do I see stats? Or can I just do stats? Like what? Do I just? Oh my God! Batting stats. Here's their current batting stats. Dave Egler's on fire right now. He is currently batting .520, and he's also got 6 RBIs, which is team high. Al Spalding is on a cold streak right now. He's only 6 for 16. But Ed Bevins as well has got 2 hits in his 3 plate appearances, so maybe we see more of him. We'll see. They also got George Hubel, who's 2 for 4. Right. So, next game is my pick to New York. I don't know what you mean. But, and then Boston. My guy Spalding, cold icon. Hopefully he pitches good. He's a Hall of Fame legend. Fair enough. Here's Boston's lineup. They've got some decent hitting. They need a little bit more out of Joe Batten, who's not really hitting too well. 2 out of 28 is abysmal. But they have 4 from 9 from Bobby Addy. They got 13 out of 33 from Bug McAtee, who seems to be leading the offense here. He's also got 3 RBIs. He's scored 10 runs himself. Andy Leonard's the other one that gets on base quite a bit. He's got 10 runs, 4 RBIs. 9 RBIs from Tom Carey might be the league leading, even though he was only batting .250. So let's look at the leaderboards before we go. Cleveland does that. .520 from Dave Egler is the league high, by the way. In the majors, it's the highest in the majors. And Boston only have the best. What is WPA? WPA. Is it walks, putouts, assists? I don't know. But yeah, Boston's not really leading in any category here. They do have looking at Boston, they do have Tom Carey, who's joint second in RBIs, behind Jimmy Wood, and then you've got David wins probability, like when they. Oh, okay, wins probability. I got you. So Beals is miles ahead, by the way. Appearance of that player, right? Beals is miles ahead of that. But then the other one to look at is the other one to really look at. I feel like is Cleveland got Dave Egler, who's 3rd in slugging percentage in the league as well. So he's also 3rd in the league on base plus slugging percentage. So we'll see. Should be a good one. Should definitely be a good one. But that's going to be the next game. Right. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, this is the end of the episode. We'll see you in the next one for the Boston Red Stockings at the Cleveland Forest Citys. Until then, take care.